A running back who's not being drafted in the first round, but we expect him to do pretty well is Brian Robinson. And yes, Robinson, third round draft capital out of Alabama, is a player that, yeah, he was a little bit of a plotter, sure, but he was also trusted once he returned from getting shot. And so I think there's a high level of confidence for the Washington Commanders with Brian Robinson. The JD McKissick role is gone. And so I think that Antonio Gibson's going to cannibalize a lot of that. I don't profile Brian Robinson as taking a lot of the pass catching, but Antonio Gibson is, if he's playing more of the third downs, maybe Brian Robinson will get just an extra carry or two per game, which maybe that'll increase his touchdowns as well. And I think that, look, I am a big Chris Rodriguez guy, but with the injury histories to Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson, I think Rodriguez is an interesting play, but Robinson's going to get the first crack at getting majority of touches in this Washington backfield.
Yeah, the dude was literally shot, missed OTAs, and then came back and stole the RB1 role in Washington. I'm scared of what this back usage is going to look like in the run game for an Eric Bieniemy style offense. But looking at what Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon were able to do here, I believe that Robinson and Gibson and even Rodriguez, they can all coexist as far as fantasy purposes are concerned. Now, Robinson, he's coming off an RB38 type season there, but he also missed the first 4 games of the season. It took him some time to get back, but in weeks 10 through 15, Robinson will go on to record double-digit fantasy performances in 4 of the 5 contests. And let's hope that Robinson can average more than 3.9 yards per carry and is below average 2.09 yards after contact per attempt. Now, it was promising that he did have 205 attempts on the ground in just 13 games. And that number, it should increase significantly as long as he's available to be there. Now, if you are all about that zero RB life, then Robinson and Gibson should firmly be on your radars. Although you mentioned this here, Robinson's lack of usage as a pass catcher, it's alarming. It really limits his ceiling here. He had 6% target share last season and caught just 9 passes for 60 yards. So all his volume is going to come in the ground game, and he should be about a 240 to 260 attempt guy next season in this Washington Commanders offense, because if you look at 205 attempts through 13 games, Gibson's going to get that passing work. I think we're looking at the exact same Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon dynamic in Kansas City as we're looking at here with Robinson and Gibson.
Oh, and bring over Bieniemy and that Antonio Gibson shares.
And Bieniemy's playing with house money right now. He has been disrespected how many years for coaching positions because teams are more concerned thinking, he's running Andy Reid's offense. This is really Andy Reid's offense. This isn't Eric Bieniemy's offense. Eric Bieniemy, I will give him credit. He's bit his tongue. He's acted professional. He said all the right things. But if I'm Eric Bieniemy, that is just burning me. That is a chip on my shoulder, and he's going to be looking to prove a lot of people wrong.
We're here for it, to see the Washington Commanders get their running backs as a very fantasy relevant here for 2023.